Here we are. Hi! Gosh, I pull my shirt down. Oh my goodness. I feel so rusty filming myself. It feels really weird looking at a picture of myself in the camera. Maybe I need to flip it the other way so I'm not staring at myself awkwardly. So awkward. But here I am. Oh my gosh. It has been a minute since I was on here, and honestly, I don't even want to be on here. It's uncomfortable and all the things, right? I'm like, I wouldn't say I feel super adequate or well versed. Like, I don't feel like, yeah, I'm ready to just preach this sermon and give you all this encouragement and update you on all these things and all these awesome tips. And see, I'm just like looking at my reflection, pulling at my clothes and okay, but I just am like, in my heart, I know this is what God's calling me to do. I know that I'm supposed to speak. I know that I'm supposed to preach. I know that I'm supposed to share with you guys the breakthrough that I've had, specifically in motherhood. I want to share a lot about some different things on my heart. But I'm just like, I see the things on the floor and the mess in the background. And gosh, what is it about being in front of a camera that I'm like, all of a sudden I feel so much more aware of myself, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. But that's just kind of the culture that we live in. I'm not even on social media, and still I'm like, I feel like this image and this perfection and this performance is always like so in my face of what I'm supposed to look like or be like or exercise like or talk like or mom like or discipline like. Everything just, there's just this constant barrage of information and opinions that, oof, man, I have worked really, really hard to silence because it gives me anxiety and it's dysregulating, and I don't feel like it's the word of the Lord, and I want to be able to hear him. So, okay, what I want to talk about today, maybe I'll just chop all that first chunk so you guys don't have to listen to it and say, hi, welcome to my podcast. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to talk about letting go of the perfect myth of like being the perfect mom. Gosh, this past season of having 3 kids has been overwhelmingly humbling, like so humbling. I think it really was, and I did some videos, but after my 3rd, I feel like I went from like, okay, I could probably do this, I could have 2 kids and like keep a clean house, and then I had my 3rd and I was like, shit hit the fan, man. I am sweating profusely, I'm not sleeping, I'm having a hard time keeping my blood sugar regulated, let alone having any time with Jesus. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are bits and pieces, but just this ideal of like, I'm gonna have 3 kids, or I'm gonna be a connected mom, or I'm gonna be a happy mom who enjoys my kids, like all of that was just shooken underneath me because I was just in such survival mode, and I couldn't seem to figure out how to take care of myself in the midst of everybody else's needs. I just felt like I was drowning and honestly like losing myself in a way that felt kind of scary. Like, I had some dark days where I just felt like, is this the postpartum depression that everyone talks about, or is this like my new normal, that I just like snap at my kids and get angry really quickly and like just, I mean, I feel like you guys would know. Every mom knows, right, what you're talking about when you just like lose your temper and you look at the eyes of your little baby and you're like, I actually am the one causing you pain. So this like myth of being a perfect mom, I don't even know. I'm like, what is the point of what I want to say? I guess I just want to give you guys permission. Obviously, like there is no perfect mom. There is no attaining in motherhood, and yeah, there is like this desire to grow, and there is a walking with the Lord that leads us on the path of righteousness, where we're walking hand in hand with him, and he's bringing correction and he's bringing grace and he's bringing his kindness, and he's bringing repentance, and he's bringing all these things to us to give us strength for the journey. But by no means is that from a place of like attaining and perfection and striving in our self-efforts. During this like whole I'm losing myself and melting to pieces season, I just feel like I had this like measuring stick of, it's hard to even talk about because it was such like a hard season for me. I feel like I came to the end of myself where I knew that like who I was and what I had to give actually wasn't enough. And I was like, God, I actually felt so broken because I was like, I can't do this without you. And I don't want to. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of you guys who will relate. Like, I just feel like I came to the end of myself and I didn't have capacity, and what I had to give wasn't enough. And every morning I would wake up and I'd go for this really short walk with Jesus and say, I need you. I need you more today than yesterday. Like, fill me. I am so needy. I am so undone. I am not enough. I do not have enough. And I know we do these like this culture of like empowerment and declarations, and we're supposed to say the opposite of how we feel. And we're like, I am enough and I have what it takes and what I do is enough. And yeah, that's all good. But also there's like this place of brokenness and dependency and desperation that if you like really crack your heart open and get raw and real before Jesus, his presence and his love like floods into the empty places of our soul, to the places that maybe we're not even honest enough with ourselves, that we haven't laid bare, that we're like grabbing Netflix and snacks and social media and like staying busy so we're not faced with the despair and like the emptiness of our reserves. But like I felt so aware of that in myself, and I would just cry out to the Lord and be like, Lord, I need you today. Like, I cannot do today without you. And he would meet me, and it didn't feel like this overwhelming like, and now I have all that I need. It felt like, okay, I have enough for the next couple hours, like, or maybe 10 minutes, depending on how dysregulated my kids are when I get home, you know? But yeah, just this like, I had to let go of the measuring rod of, have I connected with my kids enough? Are we getting our homeschool done? Am I able to have sex with my husband? Like, I just feel like there was this list of like, this is what makes a good mom. This is what makes a connected mom. This is what makes me good, or me like approve of myself. And if I didn't meet the things of what I felt like I needed to do, then I just felt this like shame and this guilt. And I'd get to the end of the day after doing my best, honestly, like giving all that I had to give and probably then some, really at the end of my rope. And then I, on top of that, would feel shame, like, and I was angry, and I missed snacks, so everyone got hangry, and I was late for my friend at the play date, and at the play date I said something embarrassing. You know, it's just like, go like lay in bed at night, and like I just felt like everything I had to give wasn't enough, and that created so much pain for me. And I think even looking back, like, man, I wish that I could just go back to myself. And I feel like I always say this all the time, like, I wish I had more grace for myself. But honestly, like, even thinking about the mom watching this, like, if you could just tap in to the grace of the Lord, that his love is sufficient and is enough. And if we can like lay our souls bare in his presence and let him fill us, and even like catching those shame thoughts. And at the end of the day, like, I've poured it all out. Like, I gave my best to my family today, and I'm gonna let that be enough. And I'm gonna catch the thoughts of self-criticism and shame and guilt, and I'm gonna stop. Like, I'm literally gonna be like, I am not thinking that tonight. I am going to run through the list of everything in my mind that I have actually done really well today. And felt awkward and it didn't feel natural. But I would lay in bed and be like, I nursed my baby. I ate food every 2 hours so my blood sugar didn't crash and I didn't snap in the same way my kids. Maybe I was so cranky, but I didn't snap. You know, like I would just literally, I exercised for 15 minutes. Like, I got a protein shake in before I got hangry. I would just look at the little wins and partner with like love and God's love over me. Because I feel like when, especially postpartum, when you're in, no one knows what it feels like to be in your body. I think that's the thing, is the comparison trap that we get into is like, oh, well, I think because she lost all her baby weight already and I haven't, then I'm doing it wrong. Or she can have her babies a year or 2 years apart, but I have to space mine out because my body doesn't recover that, or my capacity or my soul doesn't recover the same way, or I don't enjoy sex until 2 years postpartum, but they seem to have it figured out after a few months. Like everyone's story, even in like especially in motherhood, is so different that to just like break from the comparison and realize like nobody knows what it is like to be in my story, in my family, with my, not even my amount of children, yes, but also like the children I have, because every single one of our children, my children, are extremely different, have different needs, different mental things, different desires, different capacities, different personalities. So you like layer that on like, I am my own, you are your own, we are our own family. And in that, having permission to be where you're at and to trust that like God is going to watch over your fruit. Because if you're like a Jesus loving mama going after the Lord, your desire is to give your family your best, He is going to meet you in that. And He's going to bring correction to the places that need correction. And you can trust Him to watch over your fruit, which means we don't actually have to listen to the to-do list of shame and comparison and self-criticism and self-hatred and the swirl that gets us into a depression and the how we're lacking in so many ways. Like, you don't actually have to go down that path if we trust Him to like walk us through, right? If we trust Him to walk us in the path that we're on with Him, then He can be the one to be like, hey, let's make this adjustment, or hey, like let's rein in that anger, like maybe get some deliverance, or hey, you like eating way too much junk food and snacking is like not serving you, or you know, like, because often I feel like the things the Lord brings conviction and correction of my heart are things that aren't like serving me or my family unto the vision that I have and that I desire to be as a mom. Okay, I'm rambling. Anyways, I hope this speaks to you. This speaks to you guys. Yeah, I think just wrapping it up, like main takeaways of letting go of that like perfect mom, letting go of the measuring stick, silencing the like spiral of all the things we haven't done enough, and then really just like coming to the Lord in whatever capacity you have, in whatever season you're in. Like bringing that, whether it's a capacity, whether maybe you're in a season where you have tons of capacity and you're like, this is the most fun I've ever had in motherhood. Bring that to Him. Like, Lord, where can I meet you in this abundance, in this overflow capacity? Where do I find you more? Where do I partner with you in the wealth of resources that I have? Or maybe you're like I was, or in that season of like, I have nothing left and what I have still doesn't seem like enough. Like just bearing your soul to Him and letting Him fill you and meet you in like that place of lack. Okay, I hope this spoke to you guys. Bless you. Bye.